Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Married to Medicine Season 10, Episode 9. So I am going to be talking about some of the key things that I picked up from the episode. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. I do reality TV recaps and commentary on celebrity news and everything in between, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into today's video. Toya talks to her husband about needing him to plan more romantic dates. Apparently they're doing a lot of staying at home dates, and what she wants is a lot more romantic, out of the home sort of dates. I personally feel like what Eugene finds as quality time is just being in his wife's presence, right? I feel like that's what quality time is to him, but I feel like quality time to Toya is something completely different and involves more effort, involves more intentionality, involves more going out. And like I've had something similar in the past with an ex-boyfriend where he just wanted to be home all the time, wanted to hang out at home all the time. I wanted us to do more things, have more experience outside of the home. And even when we're staying home, doing certain things sometimes that are out of the box. And, so that for me, that was quality time. But he just didn't understand why us being together in the same space wasn't enough for me. And I think that's the thing here, because it almost seemed like Dr. Eugene was a little bit irritated by Toya wanting a little bit more. Like there was a point where he was like looking at his watch and almost insinuating that she needs to hurry up. And I think there is definitely something going on between Eugene and Toya, and they really need to actually start seeking therapy. Because it is showing, like the cracks are showing, and it's like, okay, the cracks are showing, you need to really get on board with fixing those issues before it becomes a huge thing. Let's move on to Phaedra and Dr. Alicia. So Phaedra starts telling Dr. Alicia all these like weird things and talking about Reiki. Now I don't know nothing about no Reiki. I'm a Jesus baby. That's all I know. So to be completely honest, I would have not been comfortable with the whole arrangement. Like someone laying over me and putting their hands over me, their energy over me. I don't know what they do in their private life. I don't know what their personal thing is. Like it's just not something that I would be cool with. But if that floats their boat, that's completely up to them. Moving on to Sweet Tea and Dr. Gregory. So they start talking about her health challenges and having children together. It turns out that Dr. Greg has done a sperm count test. So, and he is saying that he has the right amount of sperm basically to get her pregnant. So I'm like, at least that's good from that side. And I know a lot of people have been coming for Sweet Tea talking about her endometriosis and basically saying like she would have known and all that kind of stuff. No, I don't agree that she necessarily would have known. There's so many people who have so many things and do not know. Sometimes some people just think they have painful periods, but there's a lot more going on within them that they have no idea about. So we cannot, just because you knew when something was going on with you and you had some physical signs, does not necessarily mean that that is everyone's experience of it. So I wish like people will stop coming for Sweet Tea in that way and almost making it seem like, oh, she knew about it. Yes, she may have known about it, but there is no way of us knowing that for a fact. So I feel like you saying there's no way she can have this and not know, I just don't agree with that. I feel like there are a lot of people who have a lot of different things and they did not know about it at all. Like, I know it's not the same thing, but it's like people saying, oh, some people can be pregnant, or no one can be pregnant and not knowing. Some people were pregnant for 9 months, did not know about it until they had the baby. Okay, so these things do happen. And so I just feel like we need to be very careful in using that same one brush for everybody to say, oh, you must know, you must know. No, not everyone is going to know. So just because you knew that you had it at some point does not mean other people would. And I've seen people say they didn't even know they had it until having children. Okay, I've seen people say they didn't know they had it until they were in their 30s. So I feel like let's cut her some slack on this because she may not have known about it. Okay, so anyways, moving on. Toya and Eugene finally go on a date, which I was like, okay, that's nice. It looks like he took her to this butcher shop restaurant where they make the meal in front of you. And yeah, like it looks really, really nice. I thought it was a really beautiful idea. But I think what was interesting was then when Dr. Eugene got up to sort of like look at how the chef was making the steak and observe and engage with him. It's like, hon, you're on a date. Like, especially if she's been talking about like your attention is divided, she needs more attention, she feels lonely. She wanted a date where it would be all about her or all about you guys, as opposed to something where it's like is out here having a good old time, almost like he's on a date with the chef. Like, yeah, I can understand. The thing is, I know people are coming for Toya on this, but I feel like I can certainly see both sides. From Toya's perspective, I'm lonely, I want my husband's attention, and then he plans this date around something that he would like. He's all into cooking, I'm not really into cooking. And then he plans this date that he would like, and then we're here doing what he would like. When at home, when we're home, we're doing what he would like. All she wants is something that she would like, a date planned around what she would enjoy, and he's just not picking that up. You guys, I'm going to break it down and dissect it and talk about this in a separate video, so I'm just going to reserve some of my comments for that. But I feel like it's a bit rich where a lot of people are coming for Toya and saying she's ungrateful and all of that. Nah, it does not necessarily mean that. I feel like if you've had 15 years of the same ish and you feel like someone is not doing what they need to do or meeting your need, you would be reacting in the same way. I know people are very used to like the barest minimum, but like if you start off experiencing something with someone and then they're not living up to what the expectation they have created, it is ultimately going to be a difficult situation. I'ma just put that out there, but then we can talk about it in further detail. But yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Now, Phaedra decides to have this whole Reiki thing at a health sanctuary, okay? Now, can I first say the health sanctuary looks beautiful. It looks peaceful. So I do have to give them credit on that. And I think Phaedra is being very, very strategic in the way in which she's using this Married to Medicine platform. She is the one person I feel like has promoted her services or whatever, her job or whatever you want to call it, in some way or another. Think about it, the funeral thing, she brought that in as a storyline and also plugged in where her funeral home is. So she is doing what she should have been doing on Real Housewives. Now she is plugging her business a lot more on Married to Medicine, and I appreciate the sense, the business savviness that is coming through in that, because the truth of the matter is they're not really showing a lot of her life, so she is bringing that business aspect to the show. In terms of the Reiki, like I said, I'm not personally not going to be cool with someone laying over me and touching me in that way. But Dr. Evanly had a one-on-one session where they were doing, I don't know, energy transfer or whatever it is that they were doing on her. For me, but yeah, let me know what you lot think in the comment section below. Also, you know, whilst that was happening indoors, Sweet Tea was having a conversation with the rest of the girlies, opening up about her diagnosis. I love how Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly were able to share their opinion on what she was going through. I love seeing Toya being empathetic, trying to find out, you know, what that means for her fertility, being able to have children. And I just love how it feels like everyone sort of rallied around her in this moment. Because think about it, right? Like, her marriage with Gregory is based on having children, right? Like, she started off the conversation in his DMs about being able to give him children. Like, that is where she started the conversation, right? So to then be in a situation where you may or may not be able to provide that can be quite demoralizing, and can also be something where she's feeling like, is she even secure and safe in this marriage if she's unable to provide the very thing that they bonded on to begin with? It's not like a regular relationship where you met someone, you liked them, and you're like, oh my god, da, 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 and that's how you started dating, right? This one, she slid into your DM saying she can give you children, and then it's like now she may or may not be able to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different experience. It's like the foundation on which they bonded over at the start may or may not be, shaky at the moment. And so I know you guys might think I'm giving Sweet Tea grace, but if it was anyone else, I would be giving that same amount of grace, because I'm like, this is something very, very serious. Being wanting to have children and then you're having to deal with these sorts of issues. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications so you know every single time that I post. Let me know in the chat what you guys think, and let's continue the conversation in the chat. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.